With this question, we're going to be doing this first part over here. Then there's going to be a second question, a third question, a fourth question. Oh, wow, it's a lot. A fifth question, and a sixth question. Okay, so there will be 6 questions that we will do in total. So let's begin. In South Africa, many people are suffering from chronic health conditions. Population estimation in thousands in the 2020 mid-year for the people with chronic health is given in a table on Annexure B. This is Annexure B's table, okay? Let's just see. Okay, so let's just see what we have here. So we've got the different provinces of South Africa. So it should be all 9 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so we've got the different provinces. We've got, for example, asthma. So the people who are suffering from asthma in the Western Cape, there's 186. But remember, that's 186,000 because this is in thousands, okay? And then they break that up into how many of them are male and how many of them are female. Okay, so that's what this table is doing. So it's a big table, and then they've also got diabetes, and then they've also got hypertension. All right. So it says, calculate the total number of males with chronic health conditions in KwaZulu-Natal. So we go to KwaZulu-Natal. Now, they didn't say asthma, diabetes, or hypertension. No, they're talking about all of these chronic health conditions, which is the asthma, diabetes, and the hypertension. So if we go look at the in KwaZulu-Natal, and we look at the males who have diabetes, asthma, it's 69, but that's 69,000, okay? And then there is, for diabetes, there are 99,000, and then high blood pressure, 214,000. So we would go add all of those together, so you could say 69,000 plus 99,000 plus 214,000. And if you had to work that out, okay, so we get to 382,000 people. 382,000 people. This question says, use the number of diabetic people to determine the provincial range. Provincial, all of the provinces in South Africa, among provinces in South Africa. So they didn't say males and they didn't say females. So we're going to go to diabetes because they said diabetic people. And we're going to look at the totals for each province. We're not going to only look at males and we're not going to only look at females. They just said people in general. And we want to find the range. Remember, the range is the highest minus the lowest. So the highest value is KZN, it looks like, with 363,000. So we'd say 363,000 minus. Now the lowest value of diabetes is in the Northern Cape. So that's going to be 34,000 people. Okay, and if we had to go work that out, we end up with 329,000 people. This question says, calculate the provincial mean. Remember, mean is another word for average. Calculate the provincial average or mean number of people with hypertension in South Africa. So that's all of the provinces. Okay, so calculate the provincial mean of people with hypertension. Did they say males? No. Did they say females? No. They mean everyone. So we're going to go to hypertension and we're going to look at all of the totals. And we're going to use these numbers and we're going to go calculate the average from all of those numbers. Okay. Now you don't have to change all of them to 1,000. You can just change it to you can just change the final answer to 1,000. So we could say, we know that to calculate the average, you say 725 plus 597 plus 143 plus 316. So I'm just adding all of these numbers together. Okay, and you take all of those numbers and you divide it by how many there are, which would be 9. And if we had to go work this out, okay, and that would give us, now don't round off, that's going to give us 526.22222, and it just goes on and on and on. Then we need to just change that to the 1,000, so we just multiply by 1,000, so multiply by 1,000. And then if we round this onto 2 decimal places, it's 562.222,22. This question says, determine the median, which means it's another name for the middle, determine the median of the total chronic health conditions of the various provinces in the Republic of South Africa. Okay, now they have not asked about males only, females only, and they did not mention a specific chronic health condition like asthma or diabetes. They want everything. So they said determine the middle or the median of the total chronic health conditions for the various provinces. So we're going to have to go work out the totals for every single province. So for the Western Cape, I'm going to write it up here. For the Western Cape, you're going to go add the total asthma plus the total diabetes plus the total high blood pressure. So you're going to say 186 plus 314 plus 725, and that is 1225. Now obviously it's 1225,000, but let's just leave it like that for now. Because remember, to get the median, you have to first arrange all the values from smallest to largest. But we need to first go get all of these values. Okay, it's quite a long question. The Eastern Cape, let's do that one next. So you would just repeat, okay? You're going to go add up all of these values. So there I went and calculated all of the values for the different provinces. Now, to do the median, you have to arrange them from smallest to largest, okay? So here we've got Western Cape, Eastern Cape, Northern Cape, Free State, KZN, Northwest, Gauteng, Mpumalanga, and Limpopo. So what is the smallest value? It looks like it's going to be the Northern Cape. Okay, so we put that one first. Then, okay, so we've done the Northern Cape. The next smallest value would be Limpopo at 406. Then the Free State at 433. Then Mpumalanga at 500. Then the Northwest at 547. Eastern Cape at 987. And then what's next? Western Cape at 1225. Then KZN at 1290. And then Gauteng province at 1803. Now you got to find the middle value. So there's many ways you can do that. You can cross off on the left and on the right, and then do that again, do that again, do it again. Oh, look at that. What's in the middle? 547. So it says determine the median of the total. So it's 547,000. Now we can just add 1,000. This next question says, use the answer sheet to draw a line graph to represent the total number of people suffering from diabetes. So here I've gone and added, and this is the answer sheet, by the way. Now, before you do any plotting, you should always understand how the y-axis for each graph works. So for example, if we have 300 over here, right? And then that's 350. Then that means this would be 310, this would be 320, this would be 330, and this would be 340. So each of these little lines is going up by 10, okay? It won't always be like that, so you need to make sure for each test or exam that you are in. Okay, so the first one is the Western Cape, so we go to 314. So that would be a little bit more than this line over here, right? Because that's the 310 line, so it'll probably be nearly in the middle. Okay, then Eastern Cape, 224. So 200, and then you'd go to the second line, because that would be 20, and then probably in the middle like that. So, okay, and then the Northern Cape was just 34. So Northern Cape, 34, so that's going to be about there. And then Free State, 87, which is about there. Okay, and then KwaZulu-Natal, 363, which is about there. And then Northwest, 91. Gauteng, 335. Mpumalanga, 94. And then Limpopo, 91, which is about there. Now, to do a line graph, you just go to the beginning part, and you're just going to connect all these lines now. So ideally you would have a ruler. I don't have a ruler on the screen right now, but I'm going to try to draw these lines as straight as possible. So we're going to go there, then we're going to go down to there, but it must be a straight line, not a curve. Something like that. Up to there, then up to the next one, there, like that. But remember, these are with a straight, with a ruler here. Okay, now this question says, determine the probability as a percentage of randomly selecting a diabetic female among chronic health suffering people in KwaZulu-Natal. So you might need to read that a few times, but it says determine the probability of selecting a diabetic female. Okay, so it's a diabetic female. Now, who are you choosing from? Are you choosing from everyone? They said among all the chronic health suffering people, so that's asthma, diabetes, and hypertension, in KwaZulu-Natal. So we're only looking at KwaZulu-Natal. Okay, so we're only going to look at KwaZulu-Natal. Now, out of all of those people, it says among all the chronic health suffering people in KwaZulu-Natal. So how many people are suffering in KwaZulu-Natal with chronic health conditions? Well, that would be the 170 plus the 363 plus the 757. So that's your total. 170 plus 363 plus 757. That is the total. Now, they said choosing a diabetic female. So we're going to go to diabetes. We're going to go to female specifically in KwaZulu-Natal, and that would be 264. So 264 out of all of the people suffering with chronic health conditions in KwaZulu-Natal, and then we're going to times that by 100 because we would like it as a percentage. And this should give you 20. If we round it to 2 decimal places, it'll be 20.47%.